Hello. They always have some fancy noisemakers out there. Hey guys, as you were coming on board, if you would, please mute your phones. What's happening, McLean's? Hey guys, we're going to be getting started in just a minute. Send out any last minute text to your team. I see some people saying good morning, Chris. That means they must be in Australia or in New Zealand. So welcome, welcome. Hey guys, we're going to go over some fun stuff tonight. Breaking down definitely some business mindset, but we're going to go over some definite good stuff. So you want to make sure your team's on here. Again, as you're getting started and getting your team built and start to make money, I've been talking to quite a few people about this here recently. Let me go get the thing started in the team page and mute all because we have some naughty unmuters out there in this place. Alrighty, let me go live. So, hello. Not sure who of you all have seen on the Team Rise page, Jessica had posted a, basically it was a chart showing where the engagement is on social media. And many people spend a lot of time on Facebook, yet Facebook was only in the 40 percentile. In fact, Instagram had some of the best numbers out there. So, you know, that's one of the reasons why we've been talking about, you know, the different majors and minors in the business and not putting all your eggs in one basket. You know, over the years, I've watched, you know, people come into this industry. Some people have absolutely rocked it out on which is amazing. Hold on, getting this bad boy live. I think we got it. I think we got it. So we have been talking a lot about just, you know, the different ways to go out and build the business. And there are different ways, different strategies. I'm a firm believer in the attraction marketing side, which many people have been great at. I know we have a lot of ladies that have done an excellent job of breaking down exactly how to do it through stories. Bobby Joe, did I have you talk about that the other day? I know a couple people jumped in and talked about that, but I know you have a video going step by step how to do that. Not sure if you're out there or in a position to talk. But at any rate, we have a lot of people that have been effective at doing the stories. And we have other groups of people that have been effective at actually going out there and meeting people and networking and talking to people. And who do you know? You know, I see the Grays on here. I know that they have built a business in other countries, and a lot of that has been due to past relationships, people that they worked with. Well, guys, that's not just making a post on Facebook. That is literally reaching out, calling people and saying, hey, you know, I'm working on something. Are you open to taking a look? Some of the language that I've used, and in fact, guys, I literally used to go into stores in just different businesses, and I would ask to talk to the manager or the owner, depending on what it is that I'm doing. And basically I would go in there and say, hey, I partner up with people that are managers and show them how to create an extra income. Hey, if there was a way to build another income on the side without getting away with what you currently do, would you be open to taking a look? And I would basically build by using that method. Some people are going to do that. Some people aren't. We have a lady on the team, Cheryl. She's amazing at picking up the phone and just calling people that she has a list of, but we don't tell everybody go out there and do that, because the beautiful part about what we're doing, I saw Sean had made a post earlier, and it was talking about, what we have in terms of opportunity. And Sean, do you want to share that post just kind of real quick and kind of share like what it was talking about, how we have equal opportunity, that anyone can go out there and win. And no matter what your personality style is, no matter what your background is, no matter what you're good at already, there's different ways that you can plug into and have success in this company. I don't know if you're in a position where you want to share that real quick, Sean.
Yeah, pretty much what you just said. I just summed it up kind of with bullet points, guys, and just said, hey, whether you're a stay-at-home mom of 6 or just a woman with no kids at all, or whether you're a dad with 3 jobs, or here, Kim just pulled it up for me. I'll read you the post real fast. Success is the only way to level the play. So the picture, to back up real quick, the picture says the best way to break the cycle of oppression is to make your dreams a reality. And then my post says success is the only way to level up the playing field. Oprah, Jay, Rock, Hart, Elon, we wouldn't know them if it wasn't for their success. Let's teach success to those who think it's out of reach. Grant Cardone. Kim and I are so blessed to be part of something bigger than ourselves. Not only do we teach people how to break out of the oppression system, but our simple system applies to everyone, no matter what your background is. 5 college degrees to not graduating high school at all. No tattoos to covered in tattoos. Mom with 6 kids to women with no kids. Dads with multiple jobs to stay-at-home dads. Wealthy people to broke people. Inner city living to way out in the country living. Online to in-person. Extrovert to introvert. Employees to business owners. Our simple system is designed for anyone to raise their standard of living, giving, and prospering. Not only do we teach it for free, but we will walk with you hand in hand for as long as you need us to help you hit your level of success. But hey, talk is cheap. Don't believe us? Try us. What do you have to lose? Your oppression?
Boom. So when he talked about that, what I loved, and I did a welcome call with a lady that is a professional, been in sales and marketing for many years, was really impressed by her. And, the beautiful part about this industry is you could be a freaking horseshoer like I was and go out there and create success. You could be a business person and go out there and create success. One of the top money earners in the company worked at a freaking refinery. Another top earner in the company was a school teacher. So guys, we have systems that are so simple that anybody can do it. You can literally add somebody to a Facebook group, tag them in a message, connect them on Messenger or via phone to someone else. So I don't have Facebook. I don't do social media. I'm an older person. Well, guys, I would believe that, if you've been on this planet for any length of time, you have a phone that has some phone numbers in there. So instead of saying I can't do it because, figure out what works for you. We talk about systems and we talk about duplication. And when we talk about duplication, we're talking about something that everyone can do. And every single one of us can work the system. But the system might be a little bit different based on the way that you prospect. In other words, the system is the same, but the prospecting might be a little bit different. So we have people on the team that are phenomenal, right? Like I was talking to Carly the other day about this, right? And you got that whole group of girls are amazing at all of these pretty fancy posts and all their TikToks and stories and all this stuff, and they attract people to them through a lot of that stuff. So now imagine me, and I go and try to do a fancy, pretty post, and I go and do the same thing that they did. My friends, the people that follow me, the people that know me, are going to be like, what in the hell happened to my friend? Who is this? Who are you, dude? Like, that is so weird, right? And we have two rules. One, be normal. And two, you got to have fun. Well, it would be fun to watch everybody think I'm crazy, but I can tell you it's not going to attract anybody. In fact, they'll be calling me up, saying, hey, do you need to talk to somebody? The psychiatrist I can have you talk to, because I would look like a weirdo. But that doesn't mean for them to not do that. It also doesn't mean that if you can't do that or you can't copy their personality, that you can't have success. The beautiful part about it is most of us drive cars, right? There's gas pumps. And at the gas pump, a lot of times there might be somebody else across from you. I couldn't tell you how many conversations I've gotten in at a gas pump or in the grocery store or in the line someplace, and communicating with people and just building relationships, talking about the weather. Wow, the weather's been crazy around here lately, hasn't it? Yeah, it has. Man, you have great people skills. What do you do for a living? Well, I do ABC. Wow, how long have you been doing that? Oh, I've been doing it for such and such amount of time. Wow, you must love that. That sounds like a lot of fun. In order to communicate, people need to disagree. So guess what? They start telling me, well, it's okay. It's not really that fun. It pays the bills. Well, what would you rather be doing? Well, I'd rather be doing whatever. Well, what stopped you from doing that in the past? Well, blah, blah, blah. Normally it's this. It's money. You say, I don't even know. This might be out in left field. I don't even know if you're open-minded when it comes to extra income. But if there was a way to generate another income without getting away with what you currently do, would you be open to taking a look at something? Or even if you want to use a very side approach, you know what? I don't know if this would be for you or not, but a good friend of mine, he's been working with people, and he's actually looking for people that do whatever it is they say they do, right? He's worked with other people that do whatever. She's worked with other people that do whatever it is that they say. Oh, I'm a school teacher. No way. I've worked with a bunch of school teachers. Like, I don't know if this would even be for you. But, oh my gosh, look, and then now you're going to run them through the system. You see where I'm coming from? Hey, is it okay? And you share your story. Boom, is it okay if I add you to a Facebook group? Is it a whatever? So do you see how there's many different ways that you could do this? You compliment somebody. You heard me say, wow, you have great people skills. What do you do? No way. And what do you think they're going to ask you after you've asked them a bunch of questions about them? They're going to say, well, what do you do? Well, have you heard about that happy coffee everyone's been talking about? You might even ask the other question first. Do you know, I know this sounds random, but do you know anybody drinks coffee? And they're like, yeah, well, have you heard about that happy coffee everyone's been talking about? Happy coffee, what is that? Oh my gosh. A friend of mine shared this with me. 30 seconds, guys. You have to get your story down. A couple weeks ago, we talked about Tom Big House Schroeder, learn the 1-minute presentation, learn how to get it down quick to pique interest. If you've already asked them questions, you're going to match and mirror what they say that they're doing, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to plug them into the system. So, I had Bonnie reach out to me today. She's doing the Todd Falcone prospecting. Has said, ask different leaders what they're doing and what is their presentation. Well, guys, we have every Sunday night, we have a presentation that we can basically put people in front of, which is our opportunity Zoom. We have our Elevation Blitz page. That is a presentation page you can add people to. So if you're asking, what is the presentation you use? Well, I still use elevatethehappy.info, which is my redirect, which is the same thing as ahappydose.com. It's the same thing as that. I still use that sometimes. I use the app. I use whatever is the most convenient at the time, depending on what I talk to the person about. So many people, and we're going to go into this in a minute, but many people like to overcomplicate things. They like to tell themselves these stories and get everything perfect. And then they compare themselves to other people based on how much money they're making. And, you know, they think they should be making way more money or whatever other kind of stuff. And I want to talk about that real quick. I had a conversation with Ricky a little earlier, and he was telling me about a conversation that he had with Robin, which I've had this conversation with her as well. I'm not sure if Robin's out there can jump on board. But guys, if you only understood how much or how big of a deal it is if you're making an extra $1,000 a month in network marketing, and what kind of leverage that is. Like, many of y'all go, well, it's $1,000. Well, tell me this. How much would you have to make $1,000 residual income by investing it in the bank? Do you have any idea how much money you'd have to have saved to make $1,000 return on your investment in the bank? Or let's just say, because we know that the banks are paying like a very small percentage, like literally probably like 1% or something crazy, right? Well, at 5%, you would have to have, Rick even sent me the little chart. I know about 6%, but at 5%, if you want to make $100 a month, residual income, you need $24,000 saved up in the bank at 5%. So say, for instance, you invest in some stocks. And they pay out 5%, and you might go, wow, 5% is good. You have to have $25,000 to make $100. To make $100 a month residual income. Guys, over here, 25 customers, you're making way more than $100. 25 customers will pay you roughly $500 a month residual income. And guys, if you're using the cab bonuses and you're doing it, basically people are now starting to share percentages at 3% and all that other kind of stuff. And we need to put this in perspective, because what we have our hands on today, and guys, I've seen this over the years. So with the company I was with for, I don't know, 5 years, basically I was a 6-figure earner in that company. And we helped many of our friends. I had 18 people in my group that had made a 6-figure income with that company, which it blows me away, because that was considered one of the fastest growing companies in the last decade or so of network marketing. And I had 18 people making a 6-figure income. Guys, in this team, we have way more than that. We had that in probably our first few, less than 6 months, we had more than that. Guys, what we have here is absolutely special. And you just have to understand what you have your hands on. And the fact that we can create a true residual income with the product that we have more customers than we have promoters. It's funny, and when you talk to industry people, like for instance, Damien's now been in the game for a long time, and I'm using him because I've been listening to him talk to people, and he picked up our language that all these calls, if you've ever been on a 3-way call with Ricky and myself or many of the other leaders, as we're talking to other leaders, we're going to use a little bit different language than when we're talking to the average person. But guys, multiple things you need to know. Number one, we have a product that we have way more customers than promoters, period. Let's just say 10 to 1. Sometimes it's 13 to 1. Sometimes it's a little more. Sometimes it's a little bit less. Let's just call it 10 to 1. 10 to 1 customers out of promoters. Most companies are, if they're 50-50, you're lucky. If they're 50-50. Because most of them, it's a game of they're actually promoters, but they call themselves customers. Like there's a company that starts with an M, and everybody's supposedly customers, but everyone's really promoters, is what it boils down to. And many models out there, they promote and recruit. That's all they talk about. That's all they do. Guys, this is the reality. You hear a lot of the leaders talking about the 5, the 15, the 20 percenters and the 80 percenters, right? So you have the 5 percenters they're going to win no matter what they do. They're superstars, they're studs, they're going to be able to recruit, they're going to be able to do whatever. Then you have the 15 percenters that they're going to be decent at recruiting. They might be great customer getters. And then you have the 80 percenters that normally can get customers, but they suck at recruiting. It's just a reality, they do. And most people, when we start in this industry, suck at recruiting because you turn into Weirdoville, right? You turn into this weird person that's all of a sudden trying to explain, well, you can get people and they can get people. If you're ever hearing anything like, is this one of those pyramid things? All that crap, it's because you're talking too much. I never, ever, ever get that. And if you are basically explaining a bunch of stuff and comp plan and all that stuff, you're talking way too much. So my point is that, you know, I've listened to Damien, and Damien left the company that he had a really big business in, but it was constantly recruit. And what attracted him over here was the customer base, because I showed him my back office and showed him that in December of, I mean, this was a long time ago, we had over 60,000 customers in the team, where now it's well over 100,000. It might even be 200,000 customers in the team. But the thing is that that's not normal in the industry. And I went this way by talking about when I was in that other company, we had people that had created success that had never created success before. And that basically we had a pretty simple system, not as simple as what we had, not as simple as what we have here, but much of what we're doing here was modeled off of the things that were simple over there. And then basically we were like, we can even make it more simple. So when the group of leaders all got together, we talked about what worked, what didn't work, and how can we simplify this to the lowest term, the easiest thing that anybody can run the model and anybody can run the system. Well, in that group, I had 600 and I forgot, it was like 650 BMW qualifiers, which means that those people made at least $1,200 a month. So I had over 600 people in the group that are making over $1,200 a month over that 5-year period. And guys, we had people that I saw leave thinking that because they created success where they were, that they can go do the same thing somewhere else. And I've now watched many of these people go from company to company to company to company to company. And it's crazy because they don't know what drives a model. They think because they did ABC that that's going to work somewhere else. You got to understand, guys, you have to be a professional in the industry. And what does that mean? What does that look like? Yep, he's talking about contract chasers. And after they create some success, companies will pay them or say, hey, we'll give you a team, we'll do this, we'll place people under you and all that stuff. And guys, bottom line is welfare doesn't work. And if you're expecting somebody to go out there and build your business and you're going to be rich and you're going to sit on this throne and people are going to feed you grapes, it doesn't look like that. It doesn't work like that. That's not called reality. What reality is called and what this industry is called is network marketing, which means that you connect with your network and you market to them. And we went over a couple ways of marketing. Some is social media marketing. You have face-to-face marketing, but it is called marketing. And you want to become a professional marketer if you're going to do this. It just makes sense, right? So with that, guys, I've watched so many, we've even watched it happen here. When we went through some challenges and a few people left, there has been countless people that have already tried to go and do other things thinking that because they created success here, that they're going to go do the same thing somewhere else. And I've literally seen one girl that is now at God knows what company she's at since she's left, but it's been at least 8 companies. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And people think that, I just wish y'all understood, guys, over 20 years in this industry, when we saw what we had here, we knew we had something special. We have a product that people are already doing. So now we don't have to get into the, hey, you should do this because it's healthy. We have a product that you can literally tell stories And the stories will do the majority of the work. You can put somebody in a group and tag them in a story, and they're going to read that story, and they're going to go, wow, if this worked for Tony, if this worked for Steven, if this worked for Jenny, if this worked for Sean, if this worked for Mary, if this worked for Lauren, it might work for me. Guys, we have a product that has instant gratification for most people. It's a good thing, and it's also a bad thing, because so many people get instant results. The people that don't get instant results want to compare themselves to other people. That's the only bad thing about our product, is that so many people get instant results and that we're not selling the long-term effects. Guys, the science in the Xanthamax alone, you could build a business on the Xanthamax alone. In fact, we have people down under that built a business on Xanthamax alone while they didn't have coffee. So guys, we have some incredible science behind our products, but because we don't talk about that, that's the only bad thing we have about our system, is because if people understood the science behind all of our stuff, they would never want to get off our products. Our products are affordable. Most products have markups that are outrageous. And people are having to spend several $100s to be on multiple products. Guys, for $100, a customer can be on 2 of our flagship products together. Guys, this is unheard of in the industry, and most people are going to feel instant gratification. We have one of the only products we have the only product I've ever heard of where people are saying this product saved my marriage. Guys, that doesn't happen in the industry. We have a product that people are literally dealing with depression and anxiety and all these things, and not saying the product healed anybody or cured a sickness or anything like that, but people start to feel normal. Their feeling is that they feel normal. Guys, this is absolutely amazing when you have these kind of products. But people, because so many people, let's call it 80%ers, or people that get started in this industry have never done it before, so they don't know what they don't know, and they don't realize how amazing it is to be able to create a 6-figure income working from the comfort of your home, or more importantly, the most important rank in our company, which is the first rank, and make an extra $500 a month. Guys, we have focused in on how many people can we help become thousandaires in our company. Do you know to make $1,000 a month, $1,000 residual income, if you were going to do it in an investment at 5%, you have to have $240,000 in the bank at 5% interest. $240,000 to have $1,000 a month coming in. If you wanted to make $2,000 a month, $480,000. If you wanted to make $5,000 a month, $1.2 million you have to have saved. How many of you all have $1.2 million saved, by the way? How many of you all would like to have a retirement of a $5,000 a month residual income? Guys, we have many people in our team that have been able to do that in a very short amount of time. What if it even took you, can we agree that even if it took you a year, even if it took you 2 years to get to $5,000 a month, even if it took you 5 years to get to $5,000 a month residual income, can we agree that that's a lot better plan than being able to save $1.2 million? And what bank is even paying 5%? Where is there a guaranteed 5% return? So guys, we have to start thinking different. And one thing I do want to commend this team upon, and many of the leaders, is, we've been having a lot of investment conversations. We've been talking about how to invest in other things. And when I was talking to Sean earlier, he was talking about what I believe it was Grant Cardone told someone. And the guy was young, and the guy had 200 saved up in the bank, 200,000 saved up in the bank. And he asked Grant, what should he invest in? He said, you're this old and you have 200,000 in the bank. You need to invest in personal development. You need to invest in yourself. Because see, what happens is if you invest in yourself, and guys, when we talk about investing in yourself, this call is you investing in yourself. The Monday, the morning trainings on Saturday is you investing in yourself. Picking up an audio program, going on YouTube. I mean, YouTube is great, and you can find a lot of great stuff. But I'm telling you, it's different when you pay for a course. It's different when you go and you start buying the audio programs. Guys, I could show you. I have countless. I don't even know if they're in. Oh, it's in my truck. I'd have to go look. I have a book that's this thick, and I think there's like 6 CDs on each page. It's like this big by that thick, solid full of personal development CDs, and that's only one of my portfolios of CDs. I have multiple of these. The other ones aren't as big. You know, the people that have stayed with me, the McLeans know, Ian and Betsy that know. I mean, there's many of the people Tony's been over to my house. You know, I have a absolute library. And because of that is why, like, we want to compare ourselves, guys. I was a horseshoer. I knew nothing about this industry. I knew nothing about it. But I was taught for things to change, you need to change. For things to get better, you need to get better. Leaders are made, not born. The only way to fail is to quit. It takes the rest of your life to fail. These are the things that were implemented. These are the things that were embedded. I see Sean has his hand up.
Hey, I was just gonna say, dude, you do have like a massive collection. I've never seen anybody with that much personal development ever in my life, and I love personal development. But there's a lot of people who have big libraries. Guys, I just wanted to point out, because he's probably not going to say it, when we're in the vehicle, that's what's playing in the vehicle the whole time. Like, we listen to music on the boat, in the vehicles, we listen to personal development. And the same CD may play 5 or 6 times. I think when we came home from Dallas, the last event, we listened to the same CD almost all the way from Dallas to New Orleans. And it finally got about the 3rd time where I knew it word for word. I knew exactly what the guy was going to say. And that repetition starts to build that muscle and build that confidence within you that you can go out and then start to sharpen it, use those skills that you're sharpening. So I just want to point out, it's not just having the material. A lot of people have good material, but you got to be using it every day.
Absolutely. Like, we listened to, I think when you guys ran last time, we listened to Tom Big Al Schreider, I don't know how many times, the one CD. And, you know, I listen to, and I'll go through and I'll listen to one over and over. And why do I do that? Well, somebody that I respected very much, this guy on stage was like so dynamic. He was so smooth, so amazing. His name was Michael Klaus. And I was like, wow. And then he tells his story, and he's like, dropped out of high school, did whatever. And a guy told him, oh, well, how do you get better? How do you become successful? He says, you dive into personal development, and it's called spaced repetition. He said, you listen to it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Guys, I literally had a speaker under my pillow for a long time. A long time. I would listen to stuff at night while I'm sleeping. When I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't go to bed, I'll find a personal development, something in my library that's in here, which I've downloaded this stuff. Todd's pointing over to his bride. But at any rate, I'll listen to this stuff over and over and over to where it just becomes. So when y'all say, well, how do you how do you just spit stuff out from the top of your head, like prospecting things or these things or those things? Because I've listened to the stuff over and over and over and over and over again. And guys, in life, anything that you're good at, you've done over and over. Think about the job that you have. How good were you when you started? I mean, you probably would have fired you when you first started your job. And then you do it for a little while and you get better at it, and you get better at it, and you get better at it. And then you just get better at things in life. Anything that you do a lot. When I started this darn surfing thing, I talk about this all the time because I fell so many damn times and it would aggravate the crap out of me. See, as I got better at wakeboarding took a longer time. I could ride longer and you're going a lot further distance, but surfing, it seems like you move a half a mile down the canal in an hour and you're not going real fast and the person's falling over and over and over. And it's crazy because the other night I had probably the best run I've ever had. It was like I was going forever, catching big airs, all this stuff, multiple 360s in a row. I did 3 in a row, all this stuff. Other times I won't land any and I'll keep falling and falling and falling. It's crazy though. To get good, you have to fall. You have to be willing to fall. But what has happened is we've told ourselves these stories and we'll compare ourselves to other people and all these other things. So if we're going to tell a story, let's tell a story. We've all seen that movie called The Wizard of Oz. Can we agree? The Wizard of Oz. So we talk about systems and remember The Wizard of Oz, like how, when Dorothy said she wanted to get home, like how did she say, how did they say you get home? Like when she's like, I want to go home. They say, well, you need to go find the wizard, right? You need to go find the wizard. And I'm sharing this because many of us, we have a simple freaking system, which is your yellow brick road. And we tell people to follow the yellow brick road, right? And remember in the movie, they're like, follow the yellow brick road, follow the yellow brick road, follow, all that craziness, right? And I remember watching this movie and remember in the beginning when they said follow the yellow brick road, they're all dancing and stuff and they're doing circles and they put her in the center of the circle and they put her like right where the yellow brick road starts. Well, guys, your yellow brick road starts with your welcome call and you understanding why you are doing this to begin with. What is it that you want out of this? What do you want to happen? What does that look like? More importantly, what does it feel like? So you start in the center of the yellow brick road. And I remember watching this movie and they're sitting here going, oh, and they're doing circles. Remember the first part, like they go around like 20 times. The yellow brick road does all these twists, right? But right over here, it's straight. So I'm sitting here watching the movie, even as a kid, and I'm like, why are they going in all those circles when they could just walk right over there to the yellow brick road right there and go straight right there on the yellow brick road? Well, guys, you want a shortcut. And the longest distance between two places is a shortcut. So you have to follow the system. Step 1, drink coffee, be happy. Step 2, share your story by asking 2 questions. Step 3, share a tool. Don't be a tool. Step 4, connect them with someone else. All right, we had some naughty unmuters out there. So with that being said, you have to follow the yellow brick road. And you follow it. And remember, like who did she partner up with when she went on the yellow brick road? Like who did she run into and who did she make it to the wizard with? We had the Scarecrow. Anybody remember the Scarecrow? Tell me. Oh, we see Lion Man in there, Scarecrow, and the Tin Man. Well, what was the Lion Man missing? What was the Lion Man missing? What was Tin Man missing? And what was the Scarecrow missing? And guys, I want to talk about this because, you know, you watch this movie and you have the Tin Man who's sitting here going, you know, always having to be oiled and all this other kind of stuff because he's rusted all up. And he's telling himself that he doesn't have a heart. And he's telling himself that he's just not good enough because he doesn't have a heart. And then now you have the Lion Man that's sitting here going, I don't have courage. And he's crying, all this other kind of stuff. And then the Scarecrow who thinks he doesn't have a brain. And guys, I wanted to share this story because you guys are overcomplicating everything. You think that you need to have every little tool in place. And you think that you basically need to know this and you need to know that and you need to know this because you're lacking something. So you get ready to get ready. You talk about doing it, but you don't do it. You don't actually go do the thing. Author Schopenhauer said, do the thing, you'll have the power. Well, how do you do the thing? Well, it's 4 steps. It's 4 steps. But we tell ourselves all these stories. And what happened with it? Then you see the Scarecrow sitting here masterminding how they're going to get to the wizard. He's the one that comes up with the plan. You have the Lion Man that fights off all the monkey men and all that stuff when they're attacked, and the trees coming out after him and all that, and fights everybody off. And then you have the Tin Man that is having to be oiled constantly over and over and over because he has such a big heart. He's always crying and he rusts up. And I wanted to share this story because I wanted you to think about, what story are you telling yourself that's a bunch of crap? What story are you telling yourself that's not true? What are you basically putting in your head that's been holding you from greatness? What propaganda have you bought into? The stories that people might have told you of, you're not good enough, you're not this, you're not that, you'll never amount to anything. Guys, these are all stories. And the beautiful part about it is you can change the story. You can change the recipe. And it comes from making a decision. It starts off with making a decision, and it starts off with telling yourself a new story. And as you tell yourself a new story, you'll hear me talk about this all the time. And the reason why is because I know that it's this that holds us back. It's this that keeps us from greatness. It's this that has stopped your growth. It's the story you tell yourself. So guys, I remember when we got started over here, and you hear Ricky even tell the story. Guys, I was at the lowest point of my life, and Ricky believed in me. Mark and Judy believed in me. As we started to share our story and what we're going to do and where we're going to go, different leaders believed in us, in our message, and what we were going to do. And leader after leader after leader joined our mission and basically added to that. And the way that we described it was, guys, we were putting out a vibration that was on a whole nother level because we believed we were going to do something amazing here. We saw what we had our hands on. We knew that we were going to be able to change not only the industry, but we were going to be able to change so many people's lives with what we have, because we have an instant gratification product that's priced affordable with a product that does the recruiting, so the 80%ers actually have a shot of making it without having to do tons of personal development. Do we recommend personal development? Do we recommend listening to the stuff and sharpening your axe? I was sharpening your, so, but yes, we recommend getting better. We recommend working on yourself. But guys, you already have every seed that you need to create greatness right now. You already have the greatness within you. You were designed for greatness, but conditioned to believe the other crap. It's time to change the story. It's time to change the way that you feel. It's time to change the way that you think. I was telling this story the other day about the book called The Greatest Networker by John Milton Fogg. And I remember in the story, this guy was doing all of the things. And he was basically saying the stuff, doing the presentations, but was not really winning to the level that he wanted to. And then he finally brings on this one person. And that one person came on board and blew it up. And then the craziest thing happened was everything that this guy was doing, none of it changed, but his results started to change dramatically. And the reason why that is because the way that he felt about it changed dramatically. So guys, the way that you feel about yourself, even if you are doing the activity and you're not getting the results that you want, you have to start thinking about, what am I thinking? How do I feel? What is it that I'm telling myself? You can do the activity, but guys, this is a vibration and a law of attraction. So again, the way we were explaining it is that, remember in high school when you were playing with magnets and they were teaching about magnetic pull and opposites attract, all that stuff, right? And you put a magnet to another magnet, and then that magnet becomes stronger. And then you put another magnet on, that magnet becomes stronger, and another magnet, and another magnet, and another magnet. Well, guys, this team has been this magnetic force. It's been this magnetic pull that has attracted like-minded people just like us, that has just attracted another amazing person, and another amazing person, and another amazing person. And it's that vibration, it's that energy that people buy into. And I'm sharing this because I want you to do a checkup from the neck up. I want you to check your vibration. What is it you're putting out there? What is it you're thinking? What are you feeling? What story are you telling yourself? And guys, you have it within you to change the recipe and change the way that you feel and change the vibration you're putting out there. And when you do that, your whole business changes. So with that being said, I hope you guys got value tonight. I'm going to end it with that, unless any leaders want to jump on board and just piggyback or whatever. But at any rate, we love you guys. Appreciate you. And I hope you got value. Tag anyone. This is on the Facebook page. Tag anyone that can get value from this call. But again, guys, let's go out there and make June a big deal for you and your business. This is your place that you can go out there and win. Know that you're in the right place at the right time with the right people, with the right product, with the right culture. And let's go out there and rock this thing out and help so many people change their lives. Take care, guys.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chris and Sean.
Thank you.
Thanks.